Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody. This is where we review cars and motorcycles. Today we're back at Motorcycles of Greensboro, and there's the professor.
Bro, aren't you supposed to be on coast to coast?
I am on my coast to coast ride, but you sent me a teaser picture of this motorcycle. So how do you expect me not to show up? This is episode number 100.
Oh,
100.
really?
Yes, sir.
So it's almost as special as the bike is, or the bike is almost as special as the 100th episode?
Either way.
Okay.
Either way.
Okay.
And you know the funny thing, Professor? Episode number 50 was my V2. Episode number 100.
Yes!
And episode number 100 is this gorgeous, beautiful 2022 Ducati Streetfighter V4 SP.
It's another wow bike, isn't it?
It is.
So
you know, the first bike I unboxed on my channel was this guy. This guy sitting right here.
That very same one.
The very same one.
Bike.
The V4 SP, the Panigale V4 SP.
And now here we are doing this one. But the funny part about that too is that back then we were saying, you know, we're going on a trip through Europe, we're going to go to Germany, we're going to go to Italy. Well, this time it truly is happening. The fact is that you are abandoning this coast to coast ride and you took a trip to Italy just for this special beauty right here.
Special beauty right here.
Bro, guess what, brother? This one, you actually get to ride.
Thank you.
Yeah, that one. Today, we're gonna have a ride o'clock.
It's gonna be ride o'clock on a V4 SP.
On this one.
Yes. And before we get into talking about the motorcycle and ride o'clock, and before I get way too excited,
you're already way too excited. But that's awesome. That's what these things are supposed to do.
Before we do all of that, if you're new to Bhroman, listen to the professor, hit that like button, and click that subscribe button. Because we put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your Bhroman. You said the headlights are not just the regular bug eyes, right? They are based on...
If you look at the Joker and if you look at this bike, you can almost, the eyebrow line is all the same. And you wouldn't miss it.
You won't miss it, yeah. And it has all the nice goodies that you would get. Electronic suspension up front, Öhlins electronic suspension.
Front and rear. Carbon fiber wheels, man.
Carbon fiber wheels.
Wow. There's no give and take here. It's all benefit.
You have lean sensing ABS, lean sensing traction control, all sorts of traction control, engine braking, quick shifter, the DQS, the Ducati quick shift assist, and this puts out 208 horses.
And before the exhaust system that's going to go on this one.
Yeah.
Gearing and the way the power is put out, just the mapping of the fuel injection makes it a lot more streetable. The Panigale, being a purebred racehorse, on the street is not so happy. It wants to be opened up. It wants to be at the racetrack. It's a race bike. This one is a street bike, but it is by far easier to ride on the street. And you know, being that it produces a little less horsepower, a little more torque, you get a little less heat.
Yeah.
But the bike is just.
Now, when he says little horsepower, little torque, those are all relative concepts. I don't think you'll ever, like 208 horses is not less horsepower. I mean, compared to 214 or 215 that one puts out. Yes, it's less, but by no stretch of the imagination is it less.
Well, hence the reason for all the electronics. It allows mere mortals like us to be able to ride the bike and high side ourselves to the stars.
So let me go ahead and do a quick walk around. Those are the eyes, the Joker eyes. You have the carbon fiber Italian chrome front fender, Öhlins suspensions on both sides. And just look at it. This is my favorite part of the bike, is the fuel tank. The brushed aluminum, unfinished look going on with this like little black insert here with this red stripe. Oh, looks gorgeous. And just check out this attention to detail that we were talking about. This red line kind of goes in with the red stitching of the seat, and then you have this like red line at the back. Really cool. Said it's a V4 SP. For your left hand side controls, you have your modes. You can go through the riding modes or make your selections up and down, plus or minus. Your hazards are here, your passing lights, driving lights, or the DRLs. You can adjust the brightness of your DRLs, turn signals, and horn on the left side. And on the right hand side you have heated grips and your kill switch with the starter button. It also comes with a steering stabilizer. The key, it does not have keyless ignition. It has a regular, the old school key. What would you call it, an analog key maybe? I don't know what it's called, but a key, you have to put it in and turn it on. It also tells you it's a V4 SP and what's the number. This one is 481. Turn this on, you should get that Ducati logo. So you have warning lights on both sides for turn signals, neutral, check engine, all of that fun stuff. Then in the middle we have our little display. You have your speedometer, which gear you're on, which riding mode you're on, your digital call out, your side stand indicator, engine oil temperature, time, your levels of traction control, the traction control, wheelie control, quick shifter, all of that good stuff there. And you can toggle through your menu options over here between miles and stuff. You can go into your settings menu, consumption, trip 2, outside temperature, trip 1 times, average speed, average consumption, trip 1, your total odometer. And if I press on this button here, it takes me through these different things. I can do ABS, engine braking, stability control, wheelie control, traction control, and this is the Ducati quick shift up and down, so you can adjust those as you want. And if you wanted to change, let's say, your traction control, you just hit the select button on the side. Right now it's at 5. If I wanted, I could take it down to 4, 3, 2, 1. I think 5 is the most intrusive and 1 is, no, I think 6. Oh no, it goes all the way up to like 8, and you can change it for all of these things, your wheelie control and all of that. I'm not going to mess around with all of that. Again, the rear suspension is electronic suspension again. And at the back are your tail lights. These are your brake lights and tail lights, so when you hit the brakes, the lights at the bottom light up, whereas your regular tail lights are the ones on the top. When the brakes are off, that's what you get. When the brakes are on, the bottom part lights up. That's pretty cool. You know it's a Ducati and it's serious business when it's got a single-sided swing arm. I love this little winglets on the side, keeping the tradition of having the winglets like they have on the V4 or the regular V4s. And there it says Streetfighter V4 SP. And this bike has a 24.5-degree rake angle. What's the rake angle, you ask? Well, draw perpendicular from the steering mount. Follow the fork tube, that angles the rake angle. Shorter the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable it is at higher speeds, highway speeds and such. In the front we have dual 330mm disc brakes. Pretty serious stuff right there. Brembo brakes, of course. Behind there you have the radiator because it's a liquid cooled 1103cc V4. Very similar to its cousin over here. See, the same winglets, same color scheme, all of that. It's gorgeous. Now this one is tricked out. It's got a dry clutch, the exhaust. This is in its stock form. Professor, what is Motorcycles of Greensboro?
We sell motorcycles, we sell accessories, but I think the sale of the accessory and the motorcycle is just a result of the fact that we are here to share our passion and our enthusiasm for motorcycling. When I think of a dealership, I think of pushy salespeople. I think of that guy that's, if I do this, will you do it today? Can you get it to, give me your money? That's not who we are here. First and foremost, we're motorcyclists. Paul with all of his off-roading and touring experiences, Andrew now playing around with a lot of off-roading, and now gotten into some track stuff, right?
Anytime you walk up to any of these guys, be it the Professor, Paul, Andrew, Rourke, Brandon, whoever, Ned, and you talk to them about motorcycles or you have questions about motorcycling, they are so willing to share their information. It's not like, oh, I have all the information, I'm going to keep it to myself. No, sharing is caring, right?
Yeah.
They share, they're always willing to listen to your stories, and this just feels like home.
Nice.
Whatever you might call it.
That's exactly what we want to be. We want to be a motorcycle enthusiast center, and then yes, we make our living at the result of that enthusiasm. As a matter of fact, as you well know, under my emails, it basically says we are here to support motorcycling. And it doesn't matter if you're on one of these or your bike is a Yamaha or a Honda. We are passionate about those as well.
Yeah, and go check them out. I'll put their website link in the video description below. And when you come on, when these guys come down here, who should they say send them to you?
They've got to tell us that the Bhroman sent them, because then they're immediately part of the family.
They don't have to earn their way in there.
You already did it for them. So
all right. So just tell them the Bhromance sent you, and you'll be taken care of.
Oh,
do you happen to know what time it is?
Oh, hey, it's right o'clock.
Yes,
it's right o'clock.
It is right o'clock. So let's go. All right, guys. So if you're new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. And let's get on with the show. Let's get on and ride this Streetfighter V4 SP. Let's start off with a couple of U-turns and see how this puppy maneuvers, shall we? Well, it's got a 58.5-inch wheelbase, 24.5 degree rake angle, weighs about 430 odd pounds. U-turns are no problem. Nope, nope, nope. You could do these all day, every day. No problemo. Which means it's time to do our second test, the pull test. Let me go ahead and change the modes, put it in race mode, because why not? It's a Ducati and a V4. Gotta do the pull test in race mode. Let's see how this pulls. Yeah. Excuse my camera. Let's go. Woo. Oh my God. 208 horses. This thing is freaky fast. Freaky fast. All right, let's talk about our first impressions, shall we? The seating position. I'm sitting up quite upright. I don't have to reach out for the handlebars. Thank God we don't have clip-ons, handlebars. The foot pegs are a little high, no doubt. But my legs are not bent weirdly at all. I'm sitting up quite upright and I can see everything around me. No problem whatsoever. Just chilling along. Coming up to a stop sign. Let's see, brakes. Well, they're Brembo brakes. No problem whatsoever. This bike has a seat height of about 33 inches. I'm 5'10", 31-inch inseam. I can flat-foot it with one foot very easily. If I try putting both feet down, I'm not on my tippy toes, but I'm not flat-footing it either. Well, chill. All right, let's see if we can change modes on the fly. Let's see. Does it let me change modes? Yes, it should, right? Yeah, let's close the throttle and boom. We are in street mode, people, street mode. Street mode is gonna be a very chill mode. The power is there. I mean, you still have all of the power and everything, but you're just chilling along. And this bike, man, it has, the red line is 14.5 thousand RPM, so 14,500 RPM. So this likes to rev. And these mirrors, huge mirrors. Usually, like you can only see your shoulders out of the mirrors on your sports bike, but not on this. These are huge mirrors. You can see a lot of things out of it. And the quick shifter, the quick shifter is amazing. Up and down both ways. Just riding this bike along, and see, I'm just chilling out. 45, 47 miles per hour. Not a worry in the world. I'm just chilling and riding this beautiful, amazing bike. And as I'm riding this bike, it feels very planted and it feels very stable. No issues whatsoever. Like if you're riding it in street mode, and if no one told me this was a V4 Streetfighter, I'd be like, this is quite tame. But that's because it's in street mode and I'm just chilling along. It still has 208 horses, so if you twist the throttle, it will move. It will move, doesn't matter which mode you're on. It can move, you guys. The V4 SP. The SP stands for Sport Production. Now, as for the seat, it's very comfortable. In the stock form, it's quite comfortable, at least for me. I'm not facing any issues, but it's a long seat. What you'll see is it's very long, and there's a reason for that. You can take this to the track, it's very trackable, and when you're on the track, all you gotta do is basically just scoot your butt behind and lay down on your fuel tank, and there you go. You get that view and twist the throttle and whoo. And this is street mode, and it's still ready to go. It's a hoot. It's an amazing bike. I am quite liking this bike, actually. Not gonna lie. We might have a problem here. All right, so let's talk about the wind protection on this motorcycle, right? That's one thing we haven't talked about. Well, there is none. There is zero wind protection. Partly because there's no fairing, no windshield, no lowers, none of that. So you get hit by a lot of wind all day, every day, and there's nothing you can do about it. But it doesn't matter. You're riding a fast bike, a Ducati. On warmer days, it's no problem at all. Colder days, I'm not so sure. And check this out. Like when I call this the stake movement, and you really have to ride it to know it. Like the carbon fiber wheels, it being 3 pounds lighter than the regular wheels, it just flicks around so easily, so effortlessly. It's just amazing, All right, so is this a good bike for commuting? Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be a good bike for commuting. You're sitting up quite upright, and as long as it doesn't have any storage space, so as long as you're good with carrying a backpack, you should be fine. The seat is comfortable, the handlebars are pretty easy to get to, and it's got a lot of power, but you could tone it down in street mode and just chug along, or you could just act a fool. Whatever you do, you'll get to work with a stupid grin on your face, or wherever you're going, you just get there with a stupid grin on your face. It's a head turner, you'll get a lot of attention as well. Now, is this good for touring? Well, let me start off by saying this is not a touring motorcycle. Nope, this is not a touring motorcycle. It's a naked bike, it's a hyper naked, so this is comfortable, much more comfortable than your Panigale V4, but by no stretch of the imagination is this a touring bike. You could probably get a couple of 100 miles done on this bike very easily, but keep in mind, this does not have saddlebags, it does not have lowers or wind protection, so highway riding is not going to be a lot of fun. You could take the back roads and get a few 100 miles done. But yeah, this is not a touring bike, but you can do a little bit of touring. I wouldn't do a coast to coast on this, nope. But yeah, it's comfortable enough to go a couple of 100 miles in my opinion. Now, is it a good bike for beginners? Well, a bike that starts from about 36,000, that's what, 35 and change, 35.5, and has 208 horses, 90 odd foot-pound of torque. What do you guys think? Is it a good bike for beginners? Nope. This is not a bike for beginners. No way, Jose. Not a chance, Lance. Nope, absolutely not. But what about the cost of ownership, huh? Alright, so in conclusion, the Streetfighter V4 SP, it's a very comfortable bike as far as, sports bikes are concerned. It's a naked bike. It's comfortable, but it's very powerful. Lots of power, lots of fun. You can have lots of fun with it, especially with the different riding modes. Oh, and the one thing I've noticed in the time that I've been riding it, I'm not getting any heat on my legs or my inner thighs and stuff. Like, I know if I was riding my V2, I would be burning up. So that's a big positive. There's no heat that I'm getting. So this bike is very powerful. It is quite comfortable. You're sitting up quite upright. It's very well balanced. You can use it for daily riding as well as riding it on the street, as well as you could take it to the track. It's very trackable. There's a lot of power, a lot of features, a lot of functions, all the ABS and all the 6-axis IMU, and those carbon fiber wheels, they make it so easy to flick it around. Now, the one thing I'd say is like the price point. It is 36,000, and I think so by the time you get it out of the door, you're getting closer to 40,000. So if you ride it a lot, you could probably justify it, or whatever. I mean, it's going to be a great addition to your collection. Or if you ride it a lot and take it to the track a lot, either way. Bikes, motorcycles do not have to make sense. They just have to evoke a certain emotion. Is this the bike for you? Well, head on down to your closest Ducati dealership and take one out for a spin. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. Well, stay tuned for my coast-to-coast adventures and more stories on that. But for now, keep your knees in the breeze. Happy 100 to me and to you guys. I'll see you soon, bro out.